Wow, it works. Now I understand when you say, or when I've heard people say, I knew I would be first. It feels good. This is fun. Good morning, Abraham.
It is.
I'd like to begin with asking you about dreams. I've had lots of dreams where I have been flying, and the feeling that goes with the flying dreams is so delicious. It's so much fun. It's so alive. It's so real.
And you understand you were feeling that way before you dreamed it, or you wouldn't have been flying in your dream?
Well, I get that after the fact, but when I have the dream, I don't know that it's something that comes out of the blue. Or, it seems to. I wasn't trying to create it in any way. They just show up.
So are you saying that you, without meaning to, were happy? It just sort of was happening. And then you went to sleep in that vibration. And because that is the consensus of that which you are, that your dream, which is a manifestation of the vibration you've got going on, was fleshed out with more detail than you even thought you consciously assigned.
Well, the detail is what's the interesting part, is when I wake up and re-go through that dream, relive the detail that lives with me for days. And so I'm...
First, let us say to you that what you're thinking and feeling, in other words, that grid that you've got going on, your point of attraction is sort of the consensus of how you're feeling. So what you're thinking and feeling and what manifests is always a match. And what manifests in your dream state is always a match too. So are you saying to us that you had a vibration going on that you were not really consciously aware of? You had it going on. You've practiced yourself there. And after the manifestation, you were able to then evaluate the content of your grid? That's exactly what we were just explaining when we were saying, let your manifestation be your indication of what you're doing vibrationally. Because trying to monitor your thoughts, or even trying to monitor your vibration through your emotions, is a sort of tedious thing. Where if you're just free-flowing and then you're being aware, there are only two ways to know what you're creating. One is by the way you feel, and the other is by what manifests. And we think that the dreamscape is a really nice intermediary because it's showing you what you're creating. It's giving you an indication. And then, as you say, long after the dream, you're still feeling the exuberance because the dream was fleshed out in more detail. So you're helping us to make another really important point, and it's nice to make it here in the beginning of this gathering. And that is that if you are just generally happy, you don't even have to identify why you are. In fact, you don't even have to really call it happy. It just can't be unhappy. That's why meditation is such a good thing. When you meditate, you stop thought. When you stop thought, you stop resistance. So anything that holds the resistance into a place where it is not active in your vibration lets your vibration raise. So as your vibration is raised and you are in that sleep state, now the vibration that matches that is going to happen. It happens in wake state too. So what we are getting at is when you are general, not specific, but general and feeling good, it's a very perfect platform for you to begin attracting things that match that. And then, and this is one of the most important things that we want to flesh out during the hours that we are together, the specifics of what you want will fill in. What goes wrong with so many of our physical friends who are wanting to be deliberate creators is that you try to be more specific than your vibration allows. So when you get specific about something you want, and that thing that you want hasn't happened yet, in your attempt at being specific, you just remind yourself that what you want hasn't happened, and you add clutter and confusion to your vibration. Well, what you are just explaining to us through the real life experience that you've lived is that the details of your grid filled in during your dream state. Don't you think that's a wonderful thing? Wouldn't it be nice to just be so blissfully general that your point of attraction is allowing anything and everything that you've already deliberately carved out that's in your vortex to flow into your experience just like water flows downhill at the perfect time, in the perfect order, in the perfect sequence, to keep you living happily ever after for the rest of your life experience? What about that? You have the potential for that, you see. So we've accomplished a lot in this conversation with your brilliant life experience. You have told us through the experience that you have lived that sometimes you are not actively involved in the creation that is coming, but that you are vibrationally allowing it by not offering clutter to your vibration. Okay. And you told us that by saying, I went to sleep and got out of the way. And as you went to sleep and got out of the way, what your general vibrational consensus or your grid is, was active and brought to you a manifestation that is evidential of what you've got going on vibrationally. And as it came to you, it filled in the details, the more specifics of what was only general to you. And then for days afterward, you were able to ponder the specifics of that, launching even more rockets and getting yourself more vibrationally cued for what is next and what is next and what is next. We think it's a good system. Do you agree?